My friends, everything you desire already exists within you. The wealth you dream of, the home you long for, the lifestyle of elegance and abundance that your heart keeps whispering to you about. It's not somewhere far away. It's not waiting in some future moment to be earned or discovered. It is here, now, resting quietly in the invisible realm of imagination, waiting for your recognition. The moment you accept it inwardly, it begins to form itself outwardly. The moment you begin to live and move and breathe from that state of luxury, life begins to rearrange itself to mirror your inner conviction. Most people live in a state of waiting. They wait for money before they feel rich. They wait for love before they feel lovable. They wait for success before they feel worthy. But the law of life works in reverse. You do not attract what you want. You attract what you are conscious of being. You do not draw wealth by yearning for it. You draw it by assuming the feeling of already having it. To act as if you are living a luxury life is not to pretend in the outer sense. It is not to force appearances, not to buy what you cannot afford or to put on a mask for the world. It is to assume within yourself the inner tone of luxury, the sense of ease, of fulfillment, of complete sufficiency that wealth brings. It is to live in the awareness that all your needs are met, that abundance flows through you effortlessly. When you feel this deeply enough, life cannot help but reproduce it. Every outer condition is but a reflection of an inner state. If you find yourself surrounded by limitation, it is not the world denying you. It is your own consciousness echoing the state you have chosen to remain in. When you shift your state, the echo must change. Life is a mirror. It can only return to you what you impress upon it. So tonight, or whenever you find yourself alone, close your eyes and imagine yourself already living the life you desire. Picture yourself in that home you dream of, not as someone standing outside longing for entry, but as one who belongs there. Feel the coolness of the marble floor beneath your feet. Hear the gentle hum of the air conditioning. See the soft glow of golden lights reflecting off polished surfaces. Smell the fragrance of fresh flowers resting on your dining table. Feel the texture of fine fabric on your skin. Don't just see it. Inhabit it. Don't just wish for it. Live in it. Your imagination is the womb of creation. Every image impressed deeply upon your mind must externalize itself. You are the cause. The world is the effect. When you begin to act as if you already live the life of luxury, you are not deluding yourself. You are aligning yourself with the deeper truth that everything exists in the infinite potential of consciousness. The outer world only materializes what you have accepted as true within. Luxury is not merely the possession of things. It is a feeling. It is a sense of ease, grace, and abundance. A person may possess vast wealth yet feel poor within. Another may have little yet live in the awareness of richness. The one who feels abundant draws abundance to himself. The one who feels lack multiplies lack. It is law, as within, so without. When you rise in the morning, do not meet the day as the person you were yesterday. Meet it as the version of yourself who already lives your dream life. Walk differently. Speak differently. Carry yourself with quiet assurance, with the calm poise of one who knows that life bends to his will. Let your imagination saturate your mind so fully with this luxurious state that you cannot distinguish between imagination and reality. For when imagination becomes reality to you, reality itself must conform. Every time you feel doubt creeping in, when that voice whispers, "Who are you to live such a life?" remember, that voice is nothing but the echo of your old state trying to pull you back into its comfort zone. It has no power except the power you granted through belief. Refuse to entertain it. Replace it instantly with the feeling of wealth, of abundance, of divine sufficiency. You must learn to dwell in the unseen, feel what cannot yet be seen, touch what the senses deny, and persist. This is not wishful thinking, it is the creative act itself. The world is ever becoming what imagination has conceived. When you dwell long enough in the state of luxury, all the forces of life move to bring it forth. There is a sacred stillness you reach when you stop striving and simply know. When you no longer ask, when will it come? But instead rest in the feeling that it already has. That state of knowing is the secret doorway through which your desire enters the world of form. You do not need to figure out how it will happen. The how is never your concern. Your only task is to sustain the state, to hold the inner conviction that you are already that which you wish to be. Let the feeling of luxury saturate your being. Imagine lying in a bed of silk, resting in perfect comfort. Imagine stepping into a beautiful car that responds to your slightest touch. Imagine traveling freely, staying in the world's most beautiful places, surrounded by beauty and ease. But more than the image, feel the emotion, the satisfaction, the peace, the joy. Let that feeling become familiar to you. At first, it may seem strange. You may feel like you're pretending, like you're forcing something untrue. But persistence dissolves resistance. The mind grows accustomed to whatever it repeatedly entertains. Soon, what once felt like imagination will feel like memory. The line between real and imagined will fade. And when that happens, the world will bend to reflect it. Luxury is not something you chase, it is something you embody. To embody luxury is to walk with grace, to speak with calm authority, to expect beauty, to appreciate quality. It is to feel worthy of the best without arrogance or need for validation. The consciousness of luxury is silent, confident, serene. It does not seek, it knows. You may say, but I cannot afford to act rich when I have so little. My friend, the richest act you can ever perform is the act of assuming wealth in consciousness. No one can take that from you. You can be penniless in the world's eyes and yet inwardly possess the treasure of 1,000 kingdoms. And if you hold that feeling steadfastly, the outer must yield. You may remember times when you wanted something deeply, and though it seemed impossible, you somehow received it. That was the law at work. You momentarily occupied the state of fulfillment, and life rearranged itself to match. You may not have realized it, but you briefly became the version of yourself who already possessed your desire. And so the desire became yours. The same law applies here. Every night before sleep, enter your luxury life. As you lie in bed, close your eyes and drift into that beautiful world where you already have it all. Feel the weight of the soft sheets. Imagine the view from your penthouse window, the lights of the city below. Hear the gentle music in the background. Smell the scent of fine perfume, the subtle fragrance of comfort and wealth. Let it feel so real that you drift into sleep in that state. The subconscious, ever faithful, accepts what you feel as true. It has no sense of time or logic, only feeling. And what you feel deeply while falling asleep becomes the pattern of your waking world. If you do this consistently, the outer world will begin to change in ways you cannot predict. New ideas will come, new opportunities will appear, people will show up in divine timing. You will feel guided, inspired, almost carried by an unseen force. That force is your own consciousness fulfilling what it has accepted. Do not worry if things seem to move slowly. Seeds take time to grow. The oak tree does not sprout overnight, but within the seed, its destiny is already complete. Likewise, within your assumption, your new reality is already contained. Your task is not to dig up the seed to check its progress, but to water it daily with faith and feeling. There will be moments when the outer world contradicts your inner vision. When bills arrive, when circumstances seem unchanged, when doubts try to invade. But if you remain loyal to your inner conviction, these appearances will fade like mist before the morning sun. The world must mirror your state. It has no choice. Many people make the mistake of trying to change the outer world without changing themselves. They work harder, they strive, they chase, yet their inner state remains one of lack and struggle. The result is exhaustion. True transformation begins within. When you change your inner feeling, outer effort becomes effortless. The right actions, the right timing, the right ideas flow naturally from the new state of being. Ask yourself, if I were already living a luxurious life, how would I feel right now? How would I think, speak, walk, and act? Then begin to do those things inwardly. You may not yet have the physical means, but you have the emotional tone, and that tone is the magnetic field that draws everything else. You see, the universe is not responding to your words, it responds to your vibration, the sum total of what you feel to be true. When you radiate the feeling of wealth, life rushes to confirm it. When you radiate lack, it must echo that too. This is not punishment, it is precision. Consciousness is perfectly just. So make it your practice to dwell in opulence inwardly. Treat your current surroundings as though they are already luxurious. Take care of your space. Keep it clean, organized, harmonious. Gratitude for what you have is the foundation of receiving more. Even if your furniture is simple, see it as beautiful. Feel proud of it. This attitude magnetizes beauty toward you. Luxury is a frequency, and gratitude is its doorway. When you give thanks for what you already have, you declare abundance. You signal to life that you are in harmony with wealth. The ungrateful heart is closed. The grateful heart is open and magnetic. Do not confuse arrogance with confidence. The truly rich soul does not need to boast. Its wealth is silent. It moves gently, speaks with kindness, gives generously. To act as if you are living a luxury life is also to embody grace, to treat others with dignity, to exude calm and composure. These are the true marks of inner richness. Imagine yourself seated at a grand table, surrounded by light, abundance, and ease. Feel the joy of knowing that you have more than enough. Then, let that joy spill over. Bless others with it. Give freely, even if you have little. When you give from the feeling of having much, you multiply your supply. Life mirrors generosity. You are not begging life for abundance. You are commanding it through your state of being. You are not waiting for luxury. You are summoning it by embodying its essence. The outer must obey the inner. The law is infallible. There will come a day, soon, when you will look around and realize that the world has changed. You will be living the very life you once imagined. And in that moment, you will understand that nothing external brought it to you. It was your own consciousness faithfully expressing what you dared to assume. You will walk into your beautiful home and feel a quiet recognition, as though you have been there before. And you have in imagination. You will enjoy the comforts of luxury, but more than that, you will know that the true luxury was always within you, the ability to create, to believe, to feel, to know. So tonight, begin. Act as if you are already living that life. Speak as one who has arrived. Move with confidence, with calm assurance. Do not wait for evidence. Become the evidence. Your imagination is the blueprint, your feeling is the power, and your persistence is the bridge. And when doubts arise, remember you are not striving to become rich. You are remembering that you already are. You are infinite consciousness expressing itself through form. Luxury is your natural state, the richness of being alive, aware, and creative. So live it now. Dress beautifully, even if simply. Speak elegantly. Walk with grace. Be generous. Treat yourself and others as though all are worthy of the best. This is not arrogance. It is alignment with divine abundance. Every moment you maintain that state, you are rewriting the script of your life. The world may not yet see it, but the script is already changed. Soon the scene will follow. The invisible precedes the visible, the feeling precedes the fact. You are the author, the actor, and the audience. Your imagination is the stage upon which all of life plays. Choose your role wisely and live it fully. Act as if you are living a luxury life, because in truth, you already are. The moment you feel it real, the play begins. And when the curtain finally rises on your magnificent new world, you will smile quietly, knowing that it was all you're doing. You imagined it, you felt it, you became it, and life, ever obedient, reflected it back to you in perfect form. Every time you open your eyes in the morning, let your first thought be one of gratitude that you are already surrounded by beauty, already cared for by the unseen, already supported by infinite supply. Let your mind drift to that exquisite vision of your life where everything unfolds with elegance. Don't let the weight of current conditions anchor your spirit. Conditions are only shadows of former thoughts. They have no permanence. They yield to your new assumption the moment you stop identifying with them. If you can rise each day and hold yourself in the consciousness of abundance, life must rise to meet you there. Every encounter, every conversation, every circumstance begins to mold itself into alignment with that awareness. The world outside is clay, and your inner feeling is the hand that shapes it. When you begin to live as though wealth and luxury already surround you, something remarkable happens within your energy field. You cease to vibrate from the frequency of need and begin to radiate the frequency of having. This shift is silent, unseen, yet magnetic beyond measure. You start attracting not through effort, but through resonance. Opportunities come effortlessly, ideas bloom spontaneously, and people feel drawn to your presence without knowing why. The invisible law of correspondence begins to operate in your favor. You are no longer pleading for abundance. You are embodying it. Think of luxury not as gold and glitter, but as a frequency of ease. It is the quiet confidence that everything is taken care of, the gentle knowing that life always provides. When you can hold that feeling in the absence of physical proof, you have mastered the secret of creation. The outer world has no choice but to align with your sustained inner feeling. That's how the law works. Creation always begins and ends within you. You must become sensitive to the way you feel throughout the day. Notice when your inner state slips back into lack. Notice when you start to think, I don't have enough, or when will it come? These thoughts are subtle declarations of poverty, and they delay the very wealth you seek. When you catch yourself there, stop and breathe deeply. Close your eyes, return to your vision. Imagine yourself once again surrounded by everything you love. The spacious rooms, the gentle sounds, the luxury of time and freedom. Feel the gratitude swell up until your heart beats in rhythm with abundance. That single moment of alignment is more powerful than hours of anxious effort. Do not let appearances fool you. The world of form is slow to change, but it always changes when consciousness changes. The invisible always precedes the visible. That is why you must never judge your progress by outer signs. Your true progress is measured by how naturally you can sustain the feeling of wealth in your heart. The more effortless that feeling becomes, the faster the outer reflection will crystallize. Your reality is not determined by what you see, but by what you persist in believing unseen. You can practice this art anywhere. As you walk through a simple neighborhood, imagine yourself walking through the most elegant streets of the world. Feel the same pride, the same serenity, the same gratitude. As you sip your morning coffee, imagine it served on the finest porcelain in a luxurious cafe. Feel the same pleasure, the same richness of the moment. These small acts of inner transformation train your consciousness to accept luxury as your natural state. You are rewriting your subconscious program each time you do it. People often say, I'll feel rich when I have more money. But the truth is the opposite. You will have more money when you feel rich. Consciousness creates the flow. Money is an effect, not a cause. When you feel abundant, money gravitates toward you from every direction. It comes through ideas, through people, through synchronicities that seem miraculous. The outer world is only the mirror, the feeling is the source. So live each day as though you have already arrived. Walk through your home as though it were a palace. Treat your belongings with reverence, no matter how small. Care for your environment with love. Polish, clean, organize, adorn. You are training your mind to see beauty in everything, and this vision multiplies beauty around you. The universe always expands what you appreciate. Luxury is a vibration of appreciation. To live luxuriously is to live consciously, to savor each experience with awareness and gratitude. Even a glass of water can be a luxury when drunk with mindfulness. Even a walk in the evening can feel like a royal promenade when done with awareness of divine abundance. This is not fantasy, it is mastery. You are learning to control the inner world, which is the only world that truly matters. Your imagination is not a toy, it is divine power. It is the creative faculty through which all things come. When you imagine, you are shaping the unseen substance of life. Every vivid feeling, every sensory detail impressed upon your mind sets creation in motion. The more vividly and emotionally you feel it, the more rapidly it manifests. When you act as if, when you assume the feeling of luxury, you are giving the subconscious a new blueprint to follow. The subconscious does not question, it accepts. It begins to rearrange circumstances, people, and events to match the image you hold with faith. Do not underestimate the importance of persistence. One day of belief followed by 6 days of doubt will not yield results. The soil of consciousness needs consistent planting. Each day you must water your assumption with conviction, with joy, with unwavering trust. There is no power in half belief. The universe listens only to certainty. When you can sustain your inner, knowing even in the face of contradiction, you have mastered creation. You might wonder, what if I imagine luxury and nothing changes? The answer is simple. Keep imagining until it does. Nothing can resist a sustained assumption. The length of time it takes is only the reflection of your inner persistence. Some manifestations come quickly because the belief is close to your current state. Others take longer because the gap between your old and new identity is wider. But all eventually come if you remain faithful to your vision. The world outside you is plastic to your thought. It bends, reshapes, and molds itself to the pattern of your inner speech. So monitor your inner conversations. Are you speaking from luxury or from lack? Are your thoughts rich with gratitude or heavy with doubt? You are always affirming something, whether consciously or unconsciously. The key is to make your inner dialogue match your desired state. Speak within yourself as one who already has all that you desire. Say inwardly, I love the feeling of living in such comfort. I am surrounded by beauty. Everything I need flows to me effortlessly. I am blessed beyond measure. These silent affirmations sculpt the substance of reality. Each night, before drifting to sleep, revisit your luxurious life. Do not do it mechanically, feel it deeply. Let the emotion rise like a wave. The more feeling you bring, the faster it solidifies into form. Emotion is the energy that fuels creation. When you drift into sleep, feeling the satisfaction of already living your dream, the subconscious accepts that as truth. It begins to construct the outer world accordingly, piece by piece, like an architect following your mental design. You may notice small signs at first, subtle improvements, coincidences, new encounters, unexpected opportunities. These are confirmations that the unseen is moving. Do not dismiss them as chance, celebrate them. Each sign is evidence that your new state is taking root. Rejoice in every token of progress, for joy accelerates manifestation. And remember, luxury is not limited to money or possessions. True luxury is a feeling of freedom, freedom from worry, freedom from fear, freedom from struggle. It is the ability to move through life with trust, knowing that all is well. When you cultivate this inner freedom, Material abundance becomes its natural extension. The one who feels luxurious within naturally attracts luxury without. So start to refine your senses. Notice the textures, the colors, the sounds that evoke opulence. Surround yourself with beauty in any way you can, even in small touches. A clean space, a fragrant candle, soft music, fresh flowers. These are not superficial things. They are symbols that tune your vibration to the frequency of abundance. Every detail you surround yourself with is a silent affirmation to the subconscious that you live in a beautiful, abundant world. Luxury begins with self-worth. You cannot receive what you secretly believe you do not deserve. So make it your daily practice to affirm your worthiness. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, I am worthy of the best life has to offer. I am open to receive. I am a magnet for wealth, beauty, and ease. Speak it until your whole being believes it. The feeling of unworthiness is the root of all poverty. The feeling of worthiness is the foundation of all abundance. As you move through your day, carry the posture of someone who knows they belong to greatness. Lift your head, relax your shoulders, breathe deeply. Let your movements be unhurried, graceful, deliberate. This physical posture reinforces your inner assumption. The body obeys the mind, and the mind obeys the imagination. Everything is connected. Do not allow the opinions of others to sway you. The outer world may not understand your inner transformation. People may call it delusion or fantasy, but you must not let their disbelief become yours. The masses live by sight, the awakened live by vision. The world is changed only by those who dare to see beyond it. You are not pretending, you are creating. There is a vast difference between fantasy and faith. Fantasy hopes, faith knows. When you act as if you are moving from knowledge, the deep knowing that what you imagine is real and inevitable. Each time you feel fear, remember that fear is just imagination turned against yourself. You are imagining lack, loss, or failure. The cure for fear is the same as the cure for poverty. New imagination. Replace the fearful picture with one of confidence and abundance. Feel it, breathe it, dwell in it until it becomes natural. If you can hold this inner picture with love, the outer must conform. Love is the binding force of creation. When you love your vision, when you cherish it, nurture it, and rejoice in it as already real, you magnetize it. Love unites you with what you seek. The feeling of luxury is amplified when wrapped in love. Love your imagined life so deeply that the universe cannot deny it. Never say, I'll believe it when I see it. Say instead, I'll see it because I believe it. This reversal of perception is the essence of creation. The outer world lags behind the inner world like a shadow lags behind the body. If you chase the shadow, you'll never catch it. But if you move the body, if you change your consciousness, the shadow must follow. Let your mind feast on beauty every day. Read words that uplift you. Listen to music that stirs your soul. Visualize scenes that inspire you. Refuse to dwell on limitation, gossip, or negativity. Protect your consciousness as you would your most precious jewel. The quality of your thoughts determines the quality of your life. If you are surrounded by people who speak lack and limitation, love them silently, but do not adopt their beliefs. Your inner world is sacred ground. Only invite ideas that support your vision. You do not need to convince others. You only need to convince yourself. The outer world is powerless against a mind that is certain. And when you encounter beauty in any form, a sunset, a kind gesture, a song, pause and absorb it. Let it remind you that you are aligned with the source of all creation. You are not separate from luxury, you are its expression. Every beautiful thing you see is your own consciousness revealing itself to you. As you live this way, you begin to notice synchronicities. The right opportunities appearing at the right moment, people crossing your path who help you advance, doors opening effortlessly. These are not coincidences, they are the natural flow of the new vibration you have entered. You are no longer struggling to make things happen. You are allowing them to unfold. To act as if you are living a luxury life is not to escape reality. It is to create a higher one. The outer world you see now is simply the residue of old thoughts. When you consistently occupy a new state, the old world must dissolve. What replaces it is not fantasy, but a more beautiful expression of truth. Continue to remind yourself that you are the source, not the seeker. You do not have to chase anything because all things are already within you. You are the consciousness that creates worlds, and luxury is but one of its infinite expressions. By choosing to feel luxurious, you are allowing one of those expressions to unfold through you. The mind that understands this becomes fearless. It no longer doubts, no longer worries, no longer begs. It simply imagines, feels, and knows. From that calm certainty, everything flows. You become like the sun, steady, radiant, self-sufficient, and all that is good or beautiful is drawn naturally into your orbit. Every time you breathe in, imagine you are inhaling abundance. Every time you exhale, release all resistance. Feel yourself expanding into infinite richness. This practice may seem simple, but it aligns you with the rhythm of the universe itself. A rhythm of giving and receiving, expansion and rest, creation and fulfillment. As you continue in this awareness, life becomes effortless. You begin to realize that nothing has ever been withheld from you except by your own disbelief. The door to abundance has always been open. It was your focus on limitation that made it seem closed. When you shift your focus, when you act as if the door has already opened, you discover that you have been free all along. And so you walk through life no longer waiting, no longer hoping, no longer striving, but knowing, feeling, living from the end. Every moment becomes an expression of gratitude. Every breath becomes a song of abundance. Every heartbeat echoes the rhythm of luxury. When you live as though your desires are already fulfilled, your entire inner atmosphere transforms into one of quiet certainty. And this certainty is the substance from which your world is formed. There is no force outside you determining your destiny. There is only the state you occupy and persist in. If you occupy the state of luxury, if you move and breathe and think as one who is already surrounded by richness, then life itself reorganizes to match that assumption. This is the sacred secret most overlook, for they keep their eyes on the outer world, measuring and judging by appearances, not realizing that the outer is only a slow echo of the inner. The world has no choice but to yield to the consciousness that directs it. Every time you accept something inwardly as true, you send forth an invisible command to the universe, and the universe obeys without fail. So when you wake each morning, refuse to step back into the memory of limitation. Do not look at your surroundings and say, "This is who I am." Say instead, "This is what I have outgrown." Begin again in imagination as the version of yourself who already lives in the fullness of abundance. Picture yourself stepping out of a luxurious bed, feeling rested, fulfilled, excited to live another day in the richness of being. Feel that quiet pride that comes with knowing you are secure, supported, and surrounded by beauty. Walk through the rooms of your home in imagination, touching the surfaces, hearing the soft sounds, feeling the atmosphere of elegance. Let that inner movie play until you can sense it more vividly than the world outside. The moment that inner world feels more real than what your eyes see, the change has begun. It does not matter how impossible it appears, for imagination has no concern with facts. Facts belong to yesterday's consciousness. What you feel today will become the fact of tomorrow. Life has always been an obedient servant, reflecting to each what they believe to be true of themselves. The poor man believes himself poor, and so poverty surrounds him. The rich man believes himself rich, and so wealth clings to him. The outer difference is merely the shadow cast by different inner states. Once you grasp this truth, you stop trying to fix shadows and instead turn to the light within. Let every thought you entertain become a brushstroke painting your desired reality. Think of yourself as an artist shaping the invisible canvas of consciousness. When you imagine yourself surrounded by luxury, you are not merely daydreaming. You are giving life its next instruction. You are programming your subconscious with a new identity. The subconscious is impartial. It receives whatever you impress upon it with feeling. If you feed it lack, it produces lack. If you feed it wealth, it produces wealth. It is the fertile soil of creation. To act as if you are living a luxury life means to feel luxury even in the simplest moments. When you pour yourself a glass of water, do it with reverence, as though it were the finest wine. When you sit down to eat, give thanks with the same gratitude you would have in a grand banquet hall. When you dress in the morning, put care and attention into how you present yourself, not out of vanity, but because you are honoring the state you have chosen to embody. The smallest acts performed in the feeling of abundance multiply that abundance. You must not let your outer senses dictate your inner truth. The senses show only what has been previously accepted. They cannot reveal what is becoming. The spiritual art of creation demands that you believe before you see, that you feel before you touch, that you know before you know how. This is the leap that separates the awakened from the asleep. When you can hold the feeling of wealth in the face of emptiness, when you can stand firm in your conviction that abundance is yours while every appearance denies it, then you are standing in the power of creation itself. The invisible is always stronger than the visible, for the visible comes from it. You may find your old beliefs rising up to challenge this new awareness. The mind will whisper, "This isn't real. You're only pretending." Do not argue with it. Simply smile and return to the feeling of your wish fulfilled. The mind resists change because it clings to what is familiar, but your persistence will re-educate it. Every time you refuse to yield to doubt and instead choose to feel wealthy, you are building a new inner structure. Soon, that structure becomes stronger than any outer evidence. There is an ease that comes when you no longer chase but attract. You begin to notice how the right opportunities appear without struggle, how ideas flow naturally, how doors open at the exact moment you are ready. This is not coincidence, this is alignment. The moment you move into the state of luxury consciousness, you enter a new timeline where everything needed for that life is already arranged. Your task is only to stay there in awareness long enough for it to unfold. Luxury is not excess, it is refinement. It is the expression of divine order and beauty. To live luxuriously is to live in harmony with abundance, to appreciate quality, to value the best in every form. When you cultivate this vibration inwardly, you magnetize experiences that reflect it. You begin to attract people who live with grace, environments that exude comfort, circumstances that elevate you. This is why pretending in the outer sense is unnecessary. Life itself becomes your evidence once you are internally aligned. Practice the art of feeling rich in every aspect of your being. Feel the richness of breath filling your lungs, the richness of light touching your face, the richness of silence that surrounds you. Wealth begins in awareness. When you can feel rich without possessions, possessions will chase you. The universe cannot resist a consciousness overflowing with gratitude and self-sufficiency. At times, you may find it helpful to use sensory imagination. Close your eyes and hear the sounds of your desired life, the hum of your luxury car, the laughter of friends at a beautiful dinner, the gentle rhythm of waves outside your villa. Smell the fragrance of success of fine fabrics, of polished wood. Feel the texture of the life you wish to live until it becomes tangible in your mind. These sensations plant seeds in the subconscious far deeper than words alone. If ever you feel anxious or uncertain, remember that all manifestation is governed by natural law. Just as a seed planted in soil must sprout in its season, your inner assumption must externalize when nourished by feeling and faith. There is no need to rush or strain. The impatience that demands immediate results is only another form of disbelief. Be still and know that it is done. Let the process unfold with quiet confidence. During the day, whenever you catch yourself worrying about money, stop immediately and replace the thought with an inner declaration. I am already provided for. Abundance is flowing through me now. Feel the truth of it. Each time you do this, you are shifting timelines, moving from the world of lack to the world of fulfillment. The difference between those worlds is not distance, but vibration. Do not underestimate the transformative power of self-concept. The outer world does not respond to what you want. It responds to who you think you are. If you see yourself as someone struggling for wealth, even the most generous opportunities will slip away. But if you see yourself as one who naturally attracts success, life rearranges itself to fit that image. The question is never, how do I get it? But who am I being? Become the person who has it, and having follows automatically. Allow your imagination to roam freely without the constraints of logic. Logic operates within the limits of what has been. Imagination creates what can be. Do not ask whether something is possible. Ask only how it feels to already experience it. The feeling is the prayer, and the answered prayer is the feeling realized. When you embody the state of luxury, your relationship with time also changes. You no longer wait, you rest. Waiting implies separation. Resting implies union. You rest in the assurance that the invisible reality you feel is already true, already complete, already here. This calm certainty draws it into view. It is not the frantic wish, but the serene knowing that creates. Observe how nature operates in perfect abundance. A single tree gives thousands of leaves. Each blade of grass multiplies effortlessly. Every sunset renews itself without strain. The universe knows no scarcity. You are a part of this same divine system. Scarcity is an illusion of separation. Abundance is the truth of unity. To act as if you are living a luxury life is to harmonize with the natural order of abundance that is already flowing through everything. Each time you honor beauty, each time you choose gratitude over complaint, each time you imagine the best rather than the worst, you are tuning yourself to the current of wealth. That current is constant, only your awareness drifts. When you align with it consciously, everything you need comes with grace. Remember that money and possessions are only symbols. True luxury is a state of consciousness, not an accumulation of things. You could take every possession from a truly wealthy consciousness, and they would soon rebuild it all, for their wealth is within. Likewise, you could give every possession to one who feels poor, and they would lose it, for poverty is within. The state always expresses itself. Choose your state wisely, for it determines your entire experience of life. Begin now to look at the world through the eyes of abundance. When you see something beautiful, do not think, I wish I had that. Think instead, that too is a reflection of my wealth. The moment you claim it inwardly, you have joined yourself to it in consciousness. Ownership begins in the mind. Luxury is not selfishness, it is self-recognition. When you allow yourself to live richly, you are honoring the divine creativity within you. You become a living example of what is possible when consciousness awakens to its power. Those who witness your transformation will feel inspired, for you will radiate ease, joy, and generosity. True wealth blesses all who come near it. You may notice that as you persist in this feeling, your desires begin to refine themselves. What once seemed important may fall away, replaced by deeper forms of fulfillment. This too is part of the process. The more you live from the awareness of luxury, the more you realize that luxury is simplicity perfected. It is not clutter, not excess, but balance and grace. You begin to desire only that which enhances peace and beauty. Whenever you find yourself alone, speak inwardly to your higher self as though it were a trusted friend. Say to it, "Thank you for this beautiful, abundant life. Thank you for surrounding me with comfort and joy. Thank you for manifesting every detail of my dream." Speak these words not as a request, but as a celebration. Gratitude is the language of completion. When you thank the unseen for what is already done, you anchor that reality in time. Even the way you breathe can reflect luxury. Take long, unhurried breaths as though time itself expands for you. Each slow exhalation affirms that you are in control, that you are never in a rush, that everything unfolds in perfect timing. The breath is the bridge between spirit and matter. When you breathe like the wealthy, you think like the wealthy, and thinking like the wealthy draws wealth. The subconscious mind cannot distinguish between imagination and physical experience. It accepts whatever you repeatedly feel. Therefore, use every idle moment as an opportunity to feel rich. When walking down the street, imagine you are returning from an exclusive event. When lying in bed, imagine silk sheets. When paying bills, imagine gratitude that money flows freely through you, always replenished. These moments of inner acting are not wasted. They are creation in motion. Over time, your imagination becomes so vivid that the outer world begins to echo it unmistakably. People start treating you differently. Opportunities appear where none existed. Even random encounters begin to serve your desire. This is not magic. It is the mathematics of consciousness. The vibration you hold dictates the responses you receive. If ever you doubt this, recall the times in your life when worry seemed to attract more reasons to worry. That same law reversed brings abundance. The universe does not judge. It amplifies whatever frequency you sustain. So sustain the highest. Feel good for no reason. Celebrate life before it gives you cause. This joyous expectancy is the hallmark of the truly abundant. The feeling of luxury has a texture of calm expansion, a gentle confidence that everything is taken care of. It is not loud or frantic. It is serene. It is the feeling of arriving home after a long journey, knowing that you are safe, supported, and surrounded by beauty. Cultivate that inner stillness every day. You can carry it anywhere, on busy streets, in small rooms, in simple clothes. The outer form matters little, the inner tone matters everything. Soon, you will notice that your desires no longer feel distant. They feel natural, inevitable, like memories returning. This is the sign that you have successfully entered the state. When a desire feels natural, it is ready to manifest. The world around you must then shift to accommodate it. Keep reminding yourself that everything visible was once invisible. The luxurious homes, the thriving businesses, the elegant lifestyles all began as thoughts, as images held by someone who dared to believe before seeing. The same creative power that formed those realities is alive within you now, waiting only for your command. Speak to it with faith, feel its certainty, and let it work through you. As you continue this practice, your inner world becomes richer than any treasure outside. You begin to carry a glow of peace and satisfaction that cannot be bought. People sense it and feel drawn to it. Life itself becomes an endless unfolding of ease and beauty. You stop chasing success because you realize you have been it all along. Everything that comes to you then is not a surprise, but a recognition, a reflection of what you have accepted as true within. And as you walk through your days, remember that the true art of living luxuriously begins not with what you have, but with what you believe yourself to be. Your imagination is the true mansion of your being. The mind creates the reality in which you dwell. If your inner state is one of limitation, no amount of outer change can bring you the richness you seek. But if your inner state is one of fulfillment, of wealth, of abundance, Then even the smallest of moments will shimmer with a beauty that feels divine. You must assume that you are already living the life of your dreams. Not tomorrow, not next year, but now. Because it is only now that you hold the creative power of your imagination. Every thought you sustain, every feeling you nurture, every image you believe to be true, these are the building blocks of your world. When you think of luxury, do not think of it as something distant or as something reserved for the few. Think of it as an energy, a vibration, a state of consciousness that you can enter at any moment. It does not matter if your current environment seems modest or even lacking. The outer scene is but a shadow cast by the light of your inner assumption. The instant you choose to feel that you already possess what you desire, the universe begins to rearrange itself to reflect that truth back to you. To live as though your luxury life is already here is to align yourself with the frequency of that reality. You must think, act, speak, and feel as if it were already true. Do not wait for the physical proof. Create the emotional proof within yourself first. When you wake up in the morning, imagine that you are waking up in your dream home. Feel the softness of the sheets, the warmth of the sunlight streaming through vast windows, the quiet elegance of your surroundings. Let your imagination be vivid, real, and sensory. When you pour your morning coffee, feel as though it is being served to you in a golden cup. When you walk through your day, move with the confidence of one who knows they are wealthy beyond measure. When you speak, let your words carry the calm assurance of one who lives in abundance. The world outside may still appear unchanged for a time, but within, your state of consciousness has shifted, and it is your state that creates your fate. You see, the secret lies not in effort, but in being. You are not trying to get something. You are embodying the version of yourself who already has it. That self already exists in the realm of imagination. It is simply waiting for you to step into it. When you act as if you are living a luxury life, you are aligning your mind with that reality. And by universal law, what you persist in assuming becomes fact. Feel as though it is already done. Feel the gratitude, the comfort, the joy that comes with it. Your feeling is the magnetic force that draws it into your experience. You do not need to force the outer world to change. You only need to sustain the inner image and live from that inner conviction until it hardens into fact. Luxury is not defined by possessions. It is defined by awareness. The truly rich person is not one who has everything, but one who feels richly alive, richly blessed, richly deserving of good. You can cultivate this feeling anywhere, even if you are sitting in a simple room. Look around and imagine that everything you touch is a symbol of abundance. Let your senses tell a different story. Feel the chair beneath you as a throne. Feel the floor under your feet as marble. Feel the air around you as filled with the scent of wealth and beauty. The mind does not distinguish between imagination and reality. It simply accepts what you impress upon it as truth. So impress upon it the image of your luxurious life, not as something you hope for, but as something that is. Every time you imagine yourself as wealthy, you are reprogramming the subconscious mind, which governs 95% of your life. The subconscious accepts your feeling as fact and brings it into being through means you could never plan or predict. Perhaps you will receive new opportunities, or meet people who open doors, or discover creative ideas that multiply your income. But do not concern yourself with the how. That is not your role. Your role is to believe, to assume, to feel it real. You are the dreamer, and the dream itself will rearrange to fit your assumption. As you persist, the old patterns of lack will dissolve, replaced by new expressions of abundance. When you sit quietly and visualize your life, see yourself walking through the grand spaces of your dream home. Hear the sound of your footsteps echoing on marble floors. Feel the luxurious fabrics against your skin. Smell the aroma of fresh flowers in crystal vases. See yourself being greeted by people who respect and admire you. Hear them speak words that affirm your success. And most importantly, feel it as though it were true now. That feeling is the creative seed. Once planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious, it must grow. You may not see it sprout immediately, but it is already alive within you. The outer world will eventually catch up because it is merely a mirror of the inner. Begin to speak differently about yourself. Speak as one who already lives a life of ease and beauty. Stop saying, I can't afford this, and instead say, I'm choosing what aligns with my abundance. Stop identifying with struggle. Instead, claim your identity as someone who naturally attracts wealth and opportunity. Every word you speak carries energy. It either strengthens or weakens your belief. Choose words that honor your new reality. Say, money flows to me easily. I live in comfort. I am surrounded by beauty. These are not empty affirmations. They are commands to the creative power within you. When you act as if, you are not pretending. You are practicing faith. Faith is the ability to persist in the unseen, to live from the end before it has manifested. To the untrained eye, this may seem delusional, but in truth, it is the highest form of creation. Everything that exists began as an assumption in someone's mind. The luxurious homes, the cars, the clothes, the businesses, all began as images that someone dared to believe were real before they could be seen. You are doing the same. When you persist in this inner conviction, you are aligning yourself with the same creative intelligence that forms galaxies. It does not fail. Luxury is not about excess. It is about consciousness. You can live a luxurious life by embodying peace, gratitude, and appreciation for the simplest of things. The person who feels joy in a simple meal is wealthier than the person who eats in gold plates but feels emptiness inside. True luxury is freedom of mind, not merely possession of things. Yet, paradoxically, when you master the inner state, the outer possessions naturally come because they are drawn to match your frequency. As within, so without. Let your imagination become your secret palace. When you close your eyes at night, do not fall asleep worrying about bills or problems. Instead, drift into the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Imagine that you are already there, living in your dream home, traveling to beautiful places, feeling absolute ease. See the world from that state, not toward it. If you sleep in that feeling, your subconscious will accept it as true and begin to create it. The power of the night is sacred, for it is the bridge between your conscious and subconscious mind. Use it wisely. Do not let appearances discourage you. The outer world is but the reflection of past thoughts and beliefs. If something does not yet match your desire, it simply means you are witnessing an old assumption playing out. Be patient but persistent. Keep your inner vision alive. Keep feeling the reality of your luxury life, even if it seems far away. Eventually, the old reflection will fade and the new one will appear. It must, because the law of assumption never fails. Walk through the world as though you already have what you want. When you pass by beautiful things, do not say, I wish I could have that. Say instead, that is mine in consciousness. When you see someone living the life you desire, bless them, for they are showing you a reflection of what is possible for you too. The universe mirrors your inner dialogue. If you envy, you repel. If you bless, you attract. The energy you give out is the energy that returns to you multiplied. Every moment of your day can become a ritual of abundance. When you eat, savor each bite as though you are dining in the finest restaurant. When you bathe, imagine the water is cleansing not just your body, but your energy, preparing you for greater blessings. When you dress, wear your clothes with pride and elegance, regardless of the brand or price. It is not the label that gives power. It is the feeling with which you wear it. The truly wealthy are not seeking validation. They are expressing inner fullness. In time, your outer life will begin to reflect your inner transformation. You will attract better opportunities, meet new people, and find doors opening effortlessly. You will notice that what once felt difficult now flows with ease. This is not magic in the sense of superstition. It is divine order responding to your consciousness. The universe is mental. All things are shaped by belief. When you change your inner assumption, you shift into a parallel reality where your desire already exists. You become a vibrational match for your luxury life, and the law of correspondence ensures that it finds you. Do not wait to become rich to feel abundant. Feel abundant now, and wealth will come. Do not wait to move into your dream home to feel at home. Feel at home in your imagination, and the house will appear. Do not wait to wear expensive clothes to feel elegant. Feel elegant now, and your outer wardrobe will expand to match your inner state. The world is a mirror, not a maker. You are the maker. You are the cause. And when you begin to live from this truth, everything changes. You no longer chase after things because you realize they are already yours in consciousness. You no longer doubt because you understand that the unseen is more real than the seen. You walk with quiet assurance, knowing that what you assume must manifest. The stress disappears, replaced by peace. The struggle dissolves, replaced by flow. The old identity of lack fades away, replaced by the identity of abundance. You will begin to notice signs everywhere, little winks from the universe confirming your new reality. Perhaps a stranger compliments you on your energy. Perhaps an unexpected gift arrives. Perhaps you find yourself invited into luxurious spaces you once only dreamed of. These are not coincidences. They are reflections of your new state of being. The more you notice them, the faster they multiply. Gratitude amplifies everything. Each time you say, "Thank you," you are affirming to the universe that you are ready for more. Continue to live as though. Continue to feel it real. Continue to walk, talk, and move through life as the wealthy, fulfilled, radiant version of yourself. In doing so, you are training your subconscious to believe that this is your natural state. And when the subconscious believes, it must express. The law never fails. Reality bends to belief. The outer world is compelled to reflect your assumption. And so, live as if your luxury life is already here. Feel as if your dreams are already fulfilled. Walk in the energy of one who already has what they desire. Let your imagination be your reality, your faith your fortune, your assumption your manifestation. Because the truth is simple. You already are what you seek to become. You are already living that life in consciousness. All that remains is for the outer world to catch up to the inner. And it will, inevitably, perfectly in divine timing. So go now. Act as if. Feel it real. Live from the end. Luxury is not something you reach for. It is something you remember. And when you remember who you truly are, the source of all abundance, the entire universe bends to your command.